I am Beth Galbraith, a member of the Illinois Solar Education Association and Solar Ambassador. This is my church, Compassion United Methodist Church in Brookfield, a Chicago suburb. I've been passionate about solar since I became aware of energy issues in the 1970s. In 2017, the Compassion congregation bought a 90-year-old dry cleaning building in Brookfield and converted it into a beautiful new worship space which hosts the Compassion Factory, an art gallery and teaching studio for adults and children. During the renovation, we installed a system of 50 photovoltaic panels for design production output of 17,162 kilowatt hours annually. The system produces 100% of the electricity used by the building so far. I admit, we hope to eventually offer ceramics classes, and the kiln for firing the pieces will push our usage up, so the free power will be even more welcome, and we still have more roof. A neat feature of our system, which many commercial buildings share. It's a flat roof, and current solar technology is so good that the panels do not need to be pitched steeply. From the ground, you can't see the system at all unless you're really searching at the back, though I would love them to be visible personally for free solar advertising. You can get a very rough guesstimate for the feasibility of solar at your location at Google's Project Sunroof. You may be surprised that you don't need a perfect, open, south-facing roof to benefit from solar. But installers will use much more precise tools to design your system. Of course, if you're interested in solar, step one is to make sure your building is snug and insulated, your lighting is all LED, and your appliances are as efficient as possible so that your system is sized as cost-effectively as possible. We did all that as we renovated the building. Now, this is how solar photovoltaic systems work. The panels produce direct current, and the inverter in a closet converts it into alternating current that the building's electric system can use. Of course, solar production isn't constant. The sun only shines during the day. The days are longer in the summer, and the panels are most efficient in the cooler times of spring and fall. During high production days, we make more than we need. The excess goes back into the electric grid that provides power to everyone through net metering. You can think of it as the meter running backward. To make this magic happen, you need two things: a smart meter capable of reporting the net metering data to the utility, and a net metering agreement with the utility. Smart meters have been rolled out nearly everywhere in urban areas over the past decades, but check. Commonwealth Edison and Ameren support net metering. Not all electricity suppliers do. So, every month, Compassion gets credit for the electricity we send to the utility. It not only reduces the bill by the amount we produce, but if we produce even more than we use, the excess rolls over to be credited to the next month. So, when production is high in the summer, when our communities and the Compassion Factory use more electricity for air conditioning anyway, we are helping reduce the whole community's carbon footprint. And in winter, when the days are short and we produce less, the banked electricity credit still benefits our bill. It's fun to watch our daily, weekly, and monthly production through the online tools our system provides. So, what does it cost? The technology and costs are changing all the time. State and federal incentives may or may not be available to commercial buildings and churches. So I invite you to talk to a reputable solar installer, or three, who can explain what's available and lay out all the details for your specific location step by step. Adding solar to a commercial building you own actually increases the value of your property. Now, there are many ways to buy, lease, or finance a solar system, and installers can walk you through them. Your installer can also help you navigate the permits your community requires. You'll want to get bids from several firms. Be certain you understand all the details of what your installers are offering and choose exactly what you want and need. You can find reputable solar firms who are members of the Illinois Solar Energy Association at illinoissolar.org. The installer for the Compassion system was Rethink Electric. But I want to point out a particular opportunity for churches and charitable organizations. Ask your donors. Donating a solar system or part of one can be a great benefit to them as well as satisfying. For example, my husband and I discovered a few years past his retirement that Uncle Sam wanted the taxes we had deferred by saving in traditional IRA accounts, and Uncle Sam wanted it now. The tax hit on the required minimum distribution that year, in the year Compassion renovated its building, would have kicked us up into a higher tax bracket that we had never anticipated. And so, even though we are by no means wealthy, we were able to roll over our RMD to the church and donate the whole $35,000 cost of the system, which actually saved us a big tax bite. So ask your elders. Of course, they'll need to check with their own tax advisors, and all this works much better in years when there is no pandemic. But donating a system or part of one could benefit them, the donors, as much as it benefits the organization and the planet. I can say one thing for certain. Now is the time to go solar if at all possible, despite the huge challenges the pandemic is creating for businesses and nonprofits, because the time is now to reduce our carbon footprint for the sake of all the Earth's children and grandchildren. And the sunlight we don't use now, hey, it'll never come again. It'd be a terrible shame to waste it. There's more information at illinoissolar.org.